Hi guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Gonna read through this full article. There's a link in the description. Gonna play a very short video as well. And the video is kind of bizarre. It's going to be showing us the exact moment that when an explosive vest blows up as some guy, an ex-soldier, drives down a residential street in Melbourne, Australia, and his explosive vest blows up. He died. Nobody else died, thankfully. It's a pretty weird story. You don't really hear this kind of thing that often in Australia, of people driving around the cities in residential areas, blowing themselves up with their explosive vests. Doesn't happen that often. Shocking moment. Soldier is killed when explosive vest he was wearing detonates as he drove away from his ex-partner's home. A former soldier has died after the explosive vest he was wearing after visiting his ex-partner detonated while he drove over a speed bump, sending a Melbourne street into lockdown for more than 12 hours. Police were called to a quiet cul-de-sac in an area called Hallam within Melbourne shortly before midday on Saturday morning, so a good couple of days ago, following reports of a crash. Footage shows the dramatic moment the homemade explosive vest exploded and erupted into flames after the man hit the bump in the road, the speed bump, while driving along Young Road, which seemingly is in a residential area. That's how it looks to me. The car continued traveling down the road for several hundred meters before it crashed into a parked vehicle. And there's no mention of anyone else being hurt other than the driver, a Dandenong father, ex-soldier, 43 years of age, who, no surprise, died. It's understood the man had been at the home of his ex-partner shortly before the incident. So let's watch the video. Let's watch the video. Where is the video? Hang on. Okay, here's the video.
This was the moment the homemade bomb exploded inside a car on a suburban street. The explosion killed the former soldier who was driving the vehicle. It's believed the bomb detonated when the car hit a speed bump. This was the moment
I mean, pretty unbelievable. Pretty unbelievable. Bizarre. Some guy, some ex-soldier, decided to make a homemade explosive vest and drive around town wearing it. And lo and behold, it explodes and he dies. Again, thankfully, nobody else was injured, seemingly, so the car carried on travelling for close to a kilometre, several hundred metres. It eventually crashed into parked cars, but the article's not mentioning any other injuries, which is extremely thankful. There's elderly in the area, there's children in the area, so it is thankful that the car hit parked cars. But I'm going to say this. We're going to read through a little bit more of the article in a moment, but I'm going to say, what a fucking lunatic. What a fucking lunatic. I have zero sympathy for this guy. It seems to me this article is trying to elicit sympathy for this guy. I don't understand why. Because it's an accidental death? He didn't mean for his homemade explosive device to explode? Well, why did he make a homemade explosive device? Why did he make an explosive vest? I mean, for what good reason? I can think of bad reasons why someone would do that. I can't think of any good reasons. So, I'm sorry, I'm not going to feel sympathy for this guy. So the article goes on to tell us that the area was shut down for 12 hours while officers from the arson and bomb response units examined the scene to ensure the street was safe. The man's death is not being treated as suspicious. Okay, I mean, I think I'm suspicious as to why he felt the need to make homemade explosives. I'm suspicious about that. The circumstances surrounding his death are under investigation by the arson and explosive squad, as they should be. Bomb response unit members attended due to explosive items located inside the vehicle, and it took a considerable amount of time for the bomb response unit to render these items safe. So look, I mean, there's the article. I just think it's insane. The deceased remained in the vehicle whilst the bomb response unit worked painstakingly through the afternoon and night. Family and friends of the former soldier have visited the scene to pay their respects. "Dad, my soldier forever" was spray painted on a brick wall. Again, I just find that odd. And maybe some of you might feel that what I'm about to say is disrespectful of the dead, of this guy that died. But I'm sorry, I'm not going to feel sympathy for anybody that decides to wear an explosive vest. Why the fuck did he have an explosive vest? There's no good reason for that. I mean, I've got to presume that he had ill intentions, domestic terrorism, or whatever it is. If I were a family member or a friend of this guy and I discovered that he died because of an explosive vest that he was wearing, I would not be in a rush to pay respects. I'd be in a rush to distance myself as much as possible. I wouldn't be spray painting "Dad, my soldier forever." I'm sorry, son. I'm sorry that you have lost a father, but your father clearly was a lunatic. And you are wrong to show support and love for him. Maybe that's to be expected so quickly after the event, but hopefully, son, you're going to be able to reflect on this and realize that this is not the type of man that you should have any adoration for. Regrettably, your father seemingly was a complete lunatic. You know, if not forever, then certainly in the time leading up to his final moments, which, to remind you, was driving down the street in a suburban area wearing a homemade explosive vest. Thankfully, this is the first time I've come across an incident like this. Hopefully it will be the last.